6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes. Just chow down 2 slices of piping hot pizza just in from work. Can't wait to get this going. We've got lots of topics to discuss. April's been an unbelievable month for us. I've got Simon and Blade in the background waiting to come on. I was expecting another, but he hasn't turned up. But before we get into the chat and bringing everyone in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed the show. Please hit the thumbs up. It really does help. Thank you to all the members who pay 99p or more to the channel. It really does make a huge difference. And for all you lucky members, we'll be giving away this in the next 7 to 14 days, I think. This Shea Given signed goalkeeper top. So for anyone who's a member, you'll be put into the draw, and what he is will be drawn at random using that thingy wheel from the internet, and you'll win a Shea Given signed goalkeeper top, which I think is quite an incredible prize, to be fair. There's a few in the chat already. Evening, hit the subscribe, share, socials, support the show, all that sort of stuff. There's the link if you want to become a member tonight. It's Buddy Brain for the Tsunami, every day an adventure, good one. Not the shite we went through with FCB. It's amazing, isn't it? Super chats are also available. Bottom right, you can choose to join the channel. There you go. If you want to, it's entirely up to yourselves. Good evening, Toon Sean. Agree Dream, it's an incredible journey. Evening, Mark. Evening, Jack. Evening, Roger. Jules, Roger, Mark, Roger, all talking to themselves. Evening, Lee, and evening, Leslie, as always. All right. Simon.
Hey, Barry.
Good evening. How's it going?
Not so bad, yourself?
Yeah, good, man. Like I said, obviously message you. You've been waiting a little while. I apologise keeping you in the background, but I had to get that pizza eaten. Oh, here we go. Here's Blade. How's it going, Blade?
Cracking this, you?
Yeah, not bad. Got a little lag, not too bad. And we had Nick, and Nick has just disappeared again. I don't know why. Even if I saw a bloke with a woman while I was shopping, found out that it was a Macam, so I presume it was his sister. We're still banging on about the 6 in a row, so last decade. Oh, that's what they always do. Big Frank got me on Twitter. He got me today. He got me big style. I deleted it as quickly as I could, but he was pretending to be the Macams, talking about how Sam Allardyce was coming to Leeds, not to wreck or keep Leeds up, but to wreck Newcastle's Champions League hopes. And it was Big Frank, and I was Big Frank. I was devastated. I never get caught by Frank, but he got me a kipper today. I was not happy. Blade, did you see the tweet?
I saw the tweet. I didn't see yours, but I
deleted it
just
quickly.
kind of thought, yeah, don't blame me for that one.
You got me good.
I saw yours before you deleted it.
Damn it! Someone took a screenshot of it, to be fair, before I even had a chance to delete it. So I was completely franked, gutted. I thought my tweet was really good as well. But there we go. Hello, Nick.
All right.
It's nice to see you, pal. How are you doing?
Aye, not bad, you?
Yeah, good, man. Andy's in the house. Andy, you're not a member anymore. Get that sorted. Link in the top of the chat. How's Caitlin? Is she okay?
Aye, it's not bad. She's just got in from work. Just doing some cleaning. But she's watching the show. I'm sure she'll comment and take the piss out of us at some point.
I think she deserves to, the amount of grief you give her when she's on, to be fair. Right, where do we start? We've got to start here, haven't we? This man is in Barcelona. He is probably going to sign for Barcelona. But for some reason, everyone on Twitter is jumping on the bandwagon, Simon, that Messi could be signing for Newcastle. I know you're shaking your head, and I am as well, but could you imagine?
It's just it just upsets the balance of everything for me. It's not something that I'd want at all. I don't think it's something that Eddie would want either. It'd be Ronaldo all over again at Man United, but just Messi at our place. It just all turns sour.
Oh, it might.
If it come to a choice, so I'd rather have Messi over Ronaldo.
Yeah, I would.
Like currently,
yeah,
because obviously he's been linked to it again, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. I don't want Ronaldo anywhere near our football club. I love Messi, and do you know what it is? I just want to see Messi for one season. But you're right; it probably would upset the balance a little bit. But it's Messi. It's Messi. Ballon d'Or winner.
it's just no. It's been built. We've spent wisely. We've done everything well. It just upsets the apple cart.
I know. I get what you're saying. It's Messi. That's my response all night to everyone now. It's Messi. I would love to see it. I really, honestly, I would. I still think he's playing in the French league, though, to be fair, Simon. So there's a good chance you are right. But it's Messi.
Yeah, but they're not even doing that well in the French league, realistically, are they? He's not setting the world alight.
He's not, but he's done all right.
No, I'd much rather us get like Madders. Is it that lad at Dortmund that striker's back up, because you can't rely on Wilson all season next season with Champions League and everything. That is it, Mukuku?
I think he's off to Chelsea though, isn't he?
No, I think Chelsea will go for Osimhen. They'll go for anybody else as well. But
Chelsea will sign Ronaldo.
Yeah, well,
and Messi.
Chelsea are going to pay for Messi, to be fair. Blade, what's your thoughts on Messi? I just thought it was hilarious reading it. And you know what I'm like? I would love Ibrahimovic in the Newcastle shirt just for 12 months, just to say we've had Ibrahimovic play for Newcastle. Do you know what I mean?
I'm probably the same as you, mate. I'm just going with it's Messi.
Yeah, it's Messi.
But it's Nkunku that Chelsea have pre-signed.
Right.
Not Mukuku.
They're close. There's like an N and an M. Andy, you were level 5, but you must have only signed up for a month and it's now disappeared. So you need to do it again. You need to set it so it always runs. I see that Wilson has taken a record off Shearer for most goals in a month. He's doubled his season tally in April, surely up for Player of the Month. I mean, he won Newcastle Player of the Month today. He was handed that, so fair play to him. We will talk about Wilson soon. Just waiting for my moment. Go on, Caitlin.
I'm dreading this.
You deserve it. Can Barca afford him? Thought they were skint. I don't think they can. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I don't think we can afford Messi's wages anyway because of our FFP balance and what he will be demanding. I don't think we can afford it. But
we'll probably end up with that Rafinha from Barca anyway, as a so as they can get him off the wage. But
I mean, the interest is there with Rafinha. I can say that, but the price that's been quoted on Twitter is completely nowhere near what we'd be willing to pay for him. If we're being honest, does anyone want Ronaldo? No, not really. Ronaldo's done in the Premier League. Yes, I have seen Fat Sam's comments. Nick, have you seen them?
No.
All right. Well,
I've seen him. Next door neighbour's a Leeds fan. He's been giving it me all day. And I'm just like, listen, we don't even shop from that menu anymore. And he was just like, you'll be after Big Sam once Eddie cocks it all up. And I was just like, listen, it's just not going to happen. You're not at our level anymore. Like maybe 18 months ago, 2 years ago, but no, not anymore. No.
So for you, Nick, you basically said, I'm not saying I'm as good as Pep or Arteta, but I'm definitely up there alongside them.
He's fucking useless. He's like Steve Bruce.
Well, he's better than Bruce, to be fair, though. He has had 8 jobs. And
you can't. To be fair, you can't be worse than Bruce Sport.
Well, you can be Lampard.
I think they're about on par, aren't they?
I don't know. Like Lampard's records, he's getting even worse. But yeah, his comments were stupid. I couldn't believe what he said. PSG took a stance against Messi, and rightly so. He went against the club's wishes. If you don't, you're in the world of trouble. Right. I haven't read too much into it. All I know is he went to Saudi Arabia, but I don't know why he went there. Blade, can you shed some light on why he went there? Because, I mean, as far as I'm aware, has he not gone on holiday or something? Or
I think it was holiday, but PSG hadn't sanctioned it, so it was kind of like...
Surely he's allowed to do what he wants, and it's his life.
I would not.
Yeah, not when you're supposed
like
to be playing in a game. Or
was he meant to play in the game, or was he not injured? Or
they lost on the day before. The day before he went away, they'd lost 3-1, and then he goes to Saudi Arabia. Or wherever he went.
I still don't see any problems in that. I mean, Rashford did it when Man United lost and went off to America and got shit for it. Personally, if you're not on duty, he should be allowed to go where he wants. They're rich enough to fly where they want and get back in time. I don't know.
But would he not have to report for training the next day? Getting be 3-1.
Well,
you know
this
what
is
I mean?
what I mean. Was he meant to report for training, and that's why he's been out?
But is that not why he's getting linked with us? Because he's gone to Saudi?
Possibly. I mean, it could be anything, couldn't it? Messi at Newcastle could end up Messi. Come on, Caitlin. We're just waiting for Caitlin to jump in. We really are. Preferred Derby to Ralphina. I've actually got a tiny little bit of information on that. I'll do a video later and pop it out for you because we're not talking about scoops today. Andy, well done for being a member again. You're now back. No, we're recurring. It was my bad. New card arrived. That'll be why. Leeds can appoint who they want. Think they might script a point at Spurs or West Ham if they're lucky. Looking at the last 4 fixtures, yeah, they're in big trouble, to be fair. Leeds looking at menu, KFC, and where at Nando's. I like that. It was Piff's sponsorship thing, I think. Oh, there you are. I don't know. Messi has ambassador role with Saudi. He has a certain amount of appearances, commitments out there. That's why. Well, I mean, the club's obviously got to understand that, then, haven't they? I suppose. I don't know. Right. A little bit of team news coming up to the Arsenal game. So I want to get your thoughts on Sean Longstaff. Apparently, the X-ray just shows badly bruising, no breaks. Simon, we've missed Sean. I mean,
we definitely missed him on Sunday. Just he gets so much stick, Sean, but he's literally the glue that, like, my missus lays into him. She absolutely lays into him, but he's the glue that holds everything together in that midfield for me. You know, his stats are ridiculous, but he's played more minutes than anybody in the midfield this season so far. We massively missed him. We need him back for Arsenal because that's going to be a tough game. And yeah, I'd be struggling to think that we'd win if we didn't have Longy in there.
Yeah, I mean, everyone coming into the summer window, they're all dropping Longstaff for new replacements. And I'm thinking that's not going to happen. Not the way Eddie's been talking about him. Do you agree?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just listening to my missus. She was just having a go at me then, saying, well, why are you saying that on there for? I missed what you said then.
I'm just saying the way that everyone for the summer window are talking about replacing Sean, but the way Eddie talks about Sean, there's no way that's going to happen.
To be fair, I was one of them, but this season he has absolutely been immeasurable. What his work rate in that midfield, he just goes so unnoticed. But it's just his you know, if he were more clinical in the box, everyone would be raving about him.
Yeah. Blade, you've said it many times. If he can add 8 goals to his game, he would be a top quality midfielder.
Yeah, we'll miss Longy when he's not there. If he's fit, he's a shoe-in against Arsenal. When he's running, Arsenal's midfield, they're quick, they're dynamic, they move around a lot, they try and pull people out of position. So if we're going to stop them like we did last season and win that midfield battle, then Longstaff's key to that.
Yeah, completely agree. Nick, what about you on Longy? Are you a fan now?
I am. Well, I always have been. He's work rate, he's running. Do you know what I mean? He's always wanted to run for the team. Run his heart out. You can tell he's a Geordie.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I don't
And
think he
Caitlin
wrote
likes
that
him and
off.
how she got his name on the back of her top on Sunday.
Did you? There's not many will have Longstaff on the back of their top, to be fair. Like, so fair play to her. I like that.
The club shop hardly had any numbers. They had no ones, no twos, no fours.
Botman, Trips, Paul.
Isaac, I got Bruno, she got Longstaff.
Yeah, fair play. Need depth to cover the roles of Longstaff, really, though, to find someone who covers the ground, makes those runs in open space, but also smells the danger. You're right, we do need someone to come in and replace him as well when he's injured. Big squad is massively important on 4 competition fronts that we're playing for. So, yeah. Also helps. He's a tall lad, useful for winning aerial battles, definitely, especially with Bruno next to him, who's tiny. But he's a little pit bull. The other team news is Maxi could be back. He says, I'm back forever. Maybe forever till the summer.
No, he means forever. He's never leaving.
He's never leaving. I love it. I mean,
me and Mauro agree. He's never leaving.
He loves the fans. He loves Newcastle. But to me, I just don't see him fitting into Eddie's house. There's some blade.
It's a shame, like, because we all love him over the past couple of years. You know, he's been the one. He's been the guy, but he's not that guy anymore. He doesn't fit in. When he came back from injury and he was tracking back and he was genuinely trying to fit into the mold, but he just loses something attacking wise when he does that. So I can't see him sticking around. If he stays in the summer, then great. But I can't see him sticking around any longer than one season.
Yeah, no, I mean, it all depends on his appearances. But he's only started 11 games, Blade, this season. We've discussed it many times. We still think he'll probably go in the summer, don't we?
Yeah, I think he'll go. It's just his injury record. Like, you can risk it and hope he doesn't pick up another hamstring, but he's going to. How many games is he going to be able to play next season? So it's one of them ones where if you don't cash in, he's going to lose his market value, and you're going to end up with a player that you could potentially get 40+ million euros for, and maybe he's getting 12 million euros just because of his injury record. Player-wise, skill-wise, Maxi's fantastic. He's been great for the club, kept up under the Bruce years. But yeah, it's just the injuries.
I saw something on Twitter. Probably no weight to it, but swap deal with Maxi plus cash for Kane. Now, me personally, I don't want Kane. I'd rather he break Shearer's record in a Newcastle shirt than anywhere else. But I don't personally want Kane. I like that kid from Dortmund. I think he's going to be mustard him.
See how we're taking. But it depends, like you say, swap deal. I've also heard that he could be off to Dortmund in potential swap deal for 2 other players and a bit of cash going to Dortmund as well. It's going to be an interesting summer because Maxi's going to be at the forefront of a lot of the rumours that are going to be flying around. Nick, what's your stance on Maxi? Obviously, you mentioned you and Mauro do love him, to be fair, but only starting 11 games, that's not.
You know what it is? I said to Caitlin last week, I've got a feeling he is going to leave in the summer. Like, I know I just said he's going to stay forever, but I do feel like he is going to leave, no matter how much I hate that. I think his time has come, even though I'd love to see him play in the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? I feel like he could be the difference in some matches, even if he is coming off the bench.
Yeah,
like he said he's dreamed of. He said he's dreamed of playing Champions League. Do you not think he'd stay for one more season if we're in the Champions League? Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping myself.
If he ends up going
to... I see what you're saying about injuries and stuff like that, but... Maxi, man.
It's messy. We're going to be doing that all night, aren't we? Simon, you were going to jump in. Have you got something to add there?
No, just saying... I love Maxi, but it's just the way in which we're going at the moment. It's on an upward trajectory that he just doesn't fit into. He's if you think about all the people that Eddie's, brought on, like with the types of Shah, Big Joe,
Murphy,
and
Longstaff,
Murphy and
Joelinton.
Miggy and that. Maxi's not moved anywhere. He's the same as he was. And is that down to attitude? Not sure.
I mean, he did get better. I mean, the last 2 games he played before he got injured, he was fantastic. But that's the problem. It's 2 games injured, missing for 3, 4, 5, 6 games. Gets back, takes a little time to get into it, plays 2 blinders, and then he's out again.
It's like Liverpool this season. They turn up for a couple of games and then they like that. That's the perfect analogy for Maxi this season. He's Liverpool.
Yeah. If not Kane, who potentially Simon's got his name that he wants from Dortmund. I mean, there's also Thuram doing the rounds.
But that's on a free, that isn't it? That's on a free.
And that's.
I can see us going out. I can see us because obviously we've got Isak and we've got Wilson, but with Wilson's injury, we need another backup, and I can't see a 30-year-old Kane coming to be, because Kane's mobility doesn't get him into our team when you've got Isak.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like a 19 to 22-year-old that's coming that's going to learn his craft. Yeah,
no, I completely agree, to be honest with you.
As long as it's not Ekatike, I'm not bothered.
Ekanui. Tomorrow ASM was great against City, but how long ago was that game? Everyone's still talking about how well he was against City, but wasn't that 4th, 5th game into the season? That's not good enough, is it? Third game into the season, yeah. 80k bid for Rafinha early on. Yeah, he's just going off what's being spouted about on Twitter, to be honest with you. No one's got that confirmed. It is just a rumour. Even the person who put that information out when I challenged him, he says it is a bit high. So it's not happening, trust me. People need to listen to the right.
With all the people that we've been linked with, would anyone take a swap deal, straight swap for Maxi?
Barca don't want him, so no for Rafinha.
If Leicester stay up, do they take Maxi and give us Madders?
I don't think ASM would be interested in going to Leicester, though. I think that's the other issue. The player would need to want to go where he's been touted for. Dortmund, I could see him potentially going to, or maybe Bayer Leverkusen, because he's done it in the German league before.
I'd snap their hands off for that lad.
AC Milan for Leao.
AC Milan, Leao swap. God, could you imagine that? We'd have to give them a lot of money as well, though.
Probably 20 plus Maxi.
That's still probably not enough for Leao, to be honest with you. I think Leao's in the 80, 90 million bracket.
Give them Maxi and Kieran Clark.
I love it. Yeah, Brennan Johnson's a quality player at Forest. Maisie said he was back for good. He's not. Trust me. This lot is bubbling in the background with Maxine. It has been for a while. This was his chance to prove himself, prove his fitness, prove his worth to the team, and he got injured again. And
he might have got some new hamstrings in France.
That's what he needs. But once you start getting hamstring injuries, you're knackered, to be fair. Right, enough of the Maxi talk. Let's talk about the good stuff. This was our form in April. Beating Man United 2-0. What a start to April. Absolutely battered them. Then went to West Ham and battered them. Went to Brentford. Difficult game. Battered them in the second half. Not going to talk about Villa. Then came Spurs, battered them 6-1. Then came Everton, battered them 4-1. Then came Southampton, battered them 3-1 in the second half. Simon, that's probably one of the best months of run of form that I've ever seen from our football club.
It's been a dream. I mean, I know you don't want to talk about the Villa. I think we needed that. I think we needed, like a little shot back to reality. And that's the reason why we've had these past three performances. Because, I mean, the Tottenham game, wow, I couldn't believe it. But then I was at the Everton game. And the atmosphere was electric. I actually went behind enemy lines. One of the lads who I used to work with, he got me a ticket in the home end, which I hate doing, but I couldn't get a ticket otherwise. I was at the bus greeting where they're letting off all the blue flares, and I was hoinking off blue stuff for days afterwards. It was ridiculous. When I had a shower the next morning, it was like a Smurfing of the shower. But you know, it was a hotbed. But you know, when that goal went in, that first goal, their place just died. It just died. And then when we scored the second, the third one was the one. It just emptied. The whole place just emptied. And you know, it was just our fans. I was opposite our fans, and I was absolutely gutted. I was like wanting to just jump up and, you know, Bruno's fucking magic. And no, just couldn't. I didn't think I'd get out of Liverpool alive, to be fair, at one point.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's been in the away and the home end at Everton for a Newcastle game a long time ago when Malcolm McDonald scored 2 goals, and he nearly got knifed that day, to be fair. So you don't want to be in the home end celebrating, to be fair.
No.
Obviously, he's still alive because I'm still here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, to be fair. What's your standout performance and all of that, though, Simon, in that month?
Standout, what, player or game?
Game. Which one did you enjoy the most?
Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs was pretty special.
Putting Spurs to the sword in 20 minutes. And, you know, you heard afterwards, everyone was saying, oh, it's only the, you know, Man City did it to Watford. Their one was in 18 minutes, was it? Ours was in, was it 2021? So ours is the second best. And I was like, no, they were playing Watford. We're playing Spurs. These are Champions League rivals.
Exactly.
This isn't bottom of the league playing top of the league. This is Champions League shootout, and we have absolutely schooled them.
Bad news, Mo Salah has scored a penalty. If anyone's interested.
I've got money on Liverpool 3-1.
Yeah, but we don't want Liverpool to win.
No, we don't want Liverpool to win.
Well,
that's the scary thing.
My bets are us to win every match and Liverpool to win every match. So, yeah, it's got a good return, mate. 250 quid.
I'm not surprised.
Off about a fiver.
That's a good return, to be fair.
Exactly.
But I still don't want Liverpool to win. I still don't want Liverpool to win. I just want them dead and buried. Nick, what was your favourite standout performance in that month?
Well, like, what was his name? Oh, that guy, sorry. Like Simon said, Tottenham, you can't beat that. When we were 5-0 up, I was putting bets on to win 10-0 and score 9 goals and all sorts. But this whole month, I don't think I've ever won as much money off Newcastle in like a month as I have this month. I've done very well.
Brilliant.
I've gone but you know, Caitlin spent it at the match on Sunday.
Of course you did. Brilliant. Blade, what was your standout moment or standout game?
I'm going for West Ham.
That was a great
game. Just because we started badly, it looked like it was going to go the same way as.
Sorry, Blade.
Yeah, it looked like it was going to go the same way as the very beginning, and the rally that came back and battered them.
Yeah, I mean, we nearly conceded an own goal in the first minute, didn't we? For me, and I know you're going to just beat Man United 2-0, to be fair. After the cup final defeat, the way we played in that game, it should have been a Spurs scoreline. The amount of chances we had and squandered, we absolutely battered them that day and put them to the sword, and that started the month off. And I think that was just an unbelievable win. The Man U win was a turning point for confidence in the lads, says Tomato. I agree with that. So cute, the little Ben. Mine's asleep.
This is Ivy. Her first match was the Spurs match.
I love it.
So,
should be
now
asleep.
She has to be at my house every time Newcastle play now. Those are the rules.
I love it.
I just got past her.
Both of mine are in bed. Thank God. This was a wrecking ball when I came in again. If you've never heard of the other 14, you need to go and check them out on Twitter. It's a great account. They look at the teams outside of the Big Six. And yes, I know we are third, but we're not part of the Big Six yet. We will be kicking Spurs out of it very soon. This is called the Baseline Tracker, points relative to 90-point baseline schedule. So it's basically you beat everybody in this graph, you will get 39 points and you would be safe. And it just shows you how better we are than everyone in that graph. Plus 32 points we're on at the moment. It's absolutely incredible. You know, I've been following this for a couple of seasons, and we've always been, you know, near the fucking bottom. But now we're absolutely flying. It just puts Eddie's work into picture a little bit more, Simon, that, you know, we're beating everyone that we need to beat, really.
Yeah. He's just done fantastic. It's been a fantastic season, but it's not done yet. Job's not done yet, and that's the only thing that I hope is still being hammered home, because my concern is, and this is me just being a Newcastle fan for years and just being used to us, you know, throwing toys out the pram. But, you know, by the time we play Arsenal, they could only be 3 points behind us, Liverpool. And that's a scary thing, because that team is a machine. When they get going, they're all capable of, you know, Liverpool and Man City, what it's been for years. Arsenal have upset this year, so have we. But Liverpool being 3 points behind us, I think we'll still have 2 games in hand on them at that point. But it is a scary thought. Are our lads mentally there yet? Because, you know, Eddie's done fantastic with them, but you've seen it with Arsenal when they bottled it against Manchester City. You know, it's about mentality, and I think we have, but it's, you know, until you see it, you're just a little bit worried about it, aren't you? I think that's just being a Newcastle fan.
I think it is just being a Newcastle fan, to be honest with you. Nick, are you looking at that table? How proud of you of the team this year and the work that Eddie's done?
It's just amazing. The whole lot of it's amazing. The way we're playing, even like back when we weren't winning, we're pulling draws out. Do you know what I mean? Like 4 losses all season in the Premier League. The least amount lost. Obviously, Arsenal and Man City have lost the same, but that's amazing, that, compared to last season, and you could have never believed it.
We lost once at St James's Park.
Exactly.
It's a fortress again, Blade. It's a fortress again.
Without a doubt. I'm not worried about Liverpool at all. I get what Simon's saying, and yeah, it could go the way of... The press are certainly going to go after it. They're going to build it up to, like, will Newcastle bottle it? Because the press are arseholes when it comes to talking about us, as your rant vid showed, Baz. But no, I'm not worried about Liverpool.
This is why I'm not worried about them. They have a 7% chance of qualifying for the Champions League. 7%. We're at 97%, Man United at 96%. I think the team that should be looking over their shoulder is Man United. They've got Brighton tomorrow at Brighton. And I think Brighton
will win that.
Yeah, me too. So if anyone should be looking over their shoulder, it should be the red side of Manchester.
I would love to see Liverpool pit Man U to 4.
I would love it. Love it if we beat them.
Man U can't get Champions League football.
I would honestly love it. But looking at that again, I mean, we're third in the Premier League with 65 points. You know, Liverpool can go to 59. Then they might be able to get 62. But then, like you say, we'll have 2 games in hand over them. Arsenal being one of them, which is a tough game. But we've got Leeds away. We've got Leicester at home. We've got Brighton at home. At Chelsea away. We only need 4 points. And I cannot see us not getting 4 points with the way we're playing.
No, I can't either. If we beat Arsenal, it's done. Everyone else is dead food. But
it's for first and City bottling it.
I've put a bet on the other night when I had a few. Us to win the Premier League this season, 1,000 to 1. I worked it out. Man City need to get less than 4 points for the rest of their matches.
Oh,
I know, but it's possible.
Oh, of course it
Not
is.
gonna
Anything's
happen,
possible.
but
Chelsea could still go down.
it's worth £1. I think I put 150 on it.
Wouldn't you love it if last game of the season we sent Chelsea down?
I did. I would. I put the tweet out saying
It's not
we
going to
could do
happen,
it.
but
Nah. But someone took me back straight away. It's not going to happen. I was just like, right, read the tweet again. It just says, imagine if we did. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, God. Some people don't read properly.
imagine spending, what is it, 650 million
And then
going down.
Getting relegated.
Ouch.
Imagine spending 650 million and you can't win a game.
Don't need to imagine that. Don't need to imagine
We're
that. That's what
watching
they're doing.
We'd all love Chelsea to go down. It would just be the funniest implosion ever. He was asking
Especially
me,
after Jason Cundy saying he wished that we went down last year.
Yes.
What's she saying?
Put it back up again. He was asking me if he should. I went to him, just go for it, man. It's only £1.50. Of course you go for it. Why not?
Oh, about the phone.
Yeah. Chelsea are looking strong. Will be a tough game, keeping us under double figures. I love it. Right, let's talk about this, man. I mean, there's some terrible journalism going around at the moment. Anthony Gordon's been worse than Wood. Eddie's come out to his defence. We've seen glimpses of unbelievable potential. I've got no doubts, and I've said this previously, that he'll be a top player for us. Sometimes these things take a little bit longer for everyone to see, but I've got no doubts. I mean, as soon as Eddie comes out and says that, Nick, I can see it. I see his potential. They see it in the training ground. It's just the little Miggy situation we've got with him. When's the penny going to drop? I think pre-season and next season's going to be his year.
You've just got to trust Eddie. He's always come good so far. He hasn't let us down, so why not trust him? He says Gordon's going to come good. I truly believe him.
Yeah, I do as well. And he's very confident in his quote there, Simon, to say that, you know. Oh, go on, Nick.
He's saying he's worse than Wood. He's a lot younger than Wood. He plays in a different position than Wood. And he's only been at the club for 3 months?
Yeah.
You can't compare him now to that to a Plank Wood.
See, but Wood still did his job for me. He kept us up. And I will keep saying that, and I will keep defending him for it. But Simon, to put a quote in like that, that's just trying to attack a young man who's in a black and white shirt, isn't it, really?
Yeah. The penny would have dropped when Isak put him through, he hadn't hit the post. That would have been it. He'd have been up and running at that point. Because I know Eddie took him off, but I think that's why he's getting a lot of the bad publicity, because Eddie sacrificed him to bring Wilson on at the weekend. Yeah. But he was one of our better players in the first half of the weekend.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and if he doesn't hit the post or the side netting in one of his chances.
I did criticise him a little bit for the side netting one, because I thought he should have went across goal. He goes across goal, the keeper saves it. Isak's got a tap in at the back post. Yeah. His finish that hits the post, for me, it was the keeper went down very early. And I think a very confident Gordon would have lifted that over him instead of trying to slide it under him.
Well, that's what Isak did when he first came, didn't he? He lifted it over the goalkeeper for his first. But then he tried against Crystal Palace, and maybe he shouldn't have lifted it over the keeper for that game.
Yeah.
But, you know,
these things happen.
He'd have been up and running. If that doesn't hit the post, it's like you're talking that much, and then he's up and running. Yeah. And then that game could have, rather than being 3-1, could have ended up another 6.
Yeah, I agree. Tomato, to be honest with you, the Newcastle fans haven't got on his back. I've seen countless tweets of support for him. It's the Everton fans, it's the press, it's everybody getting on his back that don't belong to our football club. And might be a very small minority of Newcastle fans who are getting on his back because of the price tag. But I've just seen positive tweets about him, to be honest with you.
From what I've heard, it's mainly Everton fans.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Because when we signed him, they were like, "You've got ripped off," and this, that, and the other. And I was like, "Listen, in Eddie, we trust."
Yeah, exactly. Blade, you're the same, aren't you? You've seen the potential in him and why we signed him.
Yeah, and I mean, I liken it back to when Eddie first joined. We got a lot of criticism saying like, "Oh, how's going to feel?" Because his transfer record when he's got money is rubbish. He spent big money on Solanke, spent big money on Danjuma. Yeah, he did. But he also said, I've bought these for the future. Danjuma was in demand. The transfer wouldn't have just gone. Loads of clubs chasing him. Looks like a top player. Yeah. Solanke played out of his skin at the weekend. Has had a cracking season for Bournemouth. Eddie can spot potential and work with him. Those two players would have been better than what they are now if Eddie had stayed with them and played them and developed them. So to me, it's like a two-pronged fork. Sod off, Gordon will come good. And sod off press, Eddie knows what he's doing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just watching the highlights of the Man City-West Ham game. Man City have hit the post and everything. They've been so unlucky. And West Ham have had one chance and nearly scored themselves.
0-0.
Yeah, still 0-0 at half-time.
I might bet coming in Newcastle win the Prem. Man City have blown it.
I knew he was going to say that.
Right. If I win, I'll give you 100 quid, Baz.
Right, come on, West Ham. Right. This has been in the spotlight recently. I know it's off Newcastle topic, but I think the next two, well, this one is off topic and there's another one off topic as well. But what do people make of this? Pickford on the water bottle, do you think that should be allowed? It gives an unfair advantage to the goalkeeper. I don't know if I like it. Jamie O'Hara isn't sure if he's a fan of Jordan Pickford having penalty homework on his water bottle on the pitch. Now, as far as I'm aware, Blade, every goalkeeper does it. Now, to me, it doesn't give him an advantage because if the player knows he's looking at where he goes, the player can go, well, he knows where I go, I'll just go the other way. It gives the player an advantage as well, thinking, well, he's done his homework on where I go, so I'm going to do something different.
Jamie O'Hara clearly never got on with any goalkeeper in a side that he played for because they're all. If you look at that Man U game, Brighton FA Cup game, between every free kick, De Gea went and looked in his towel. Now, what the hell do they think that he's? It's a bloody list of what.
He's probably got the towel. The list is probably on the towel. He's probably like this, massive long.
Well, it was raining, wasn't it? So he's obviously got the list in the towel so it doesn't get wet. But every single goalkeeper does it. The England goalkeepers do it. The Argentine World Cup winning squad had it on their water bottles. They all do it. It's just research. It's not dark arts. What Newcastle do in general is dark arts, but writing on a bloody water bottle, no.
It's the same as just like a sub handing a player a note on the pitch, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Players run on with tactics on the pitch and that, and then they eat them or put them down the sock or put them in the goalies or wherever they want to put it. Like
when they have hand signals that you don't know what it means, and it's all the same, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Just tactics.
Yeah,
they're more tactically prepared.
Yeah.
No, Jamie O'Hara's an ex-professional footballer. If he wondered where all the the goalkeepers went on a Friday afternoon when they went into this room and that, he weren't paying attention. Because they all do it. They all research him just so someone's brought their homework to the match.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, at the end of the day, you're not going to remember 11 players where they actually go. So you are going to do something that you're allowed to do.
I doubt he can remember his PIN number.
I'm surprised he could reach the machine. Now, guys. No. None of that tonight. Right, the other one that's off topic, we'll go to this one because this was absolutely hilarious. And let's go around the houses on this one, apart from Blade. I get kinky time off my wife when Leeds get a result. I haven't been to second base in months. Anybody else have that problem?
I can't comment. Caitlin's watching.
And this is why I brought it up, Nick.
Oh, she has. Dropping us right in it.
Oh, yes.
No, I'd never have that.
It was hilarious listening to it. Like, I was driving to work when that happened. It was hilarious listening to it.
Oh, man. So thanks, Jules, for joining. I'll see you soon. Oh man, honestly, I couldn't stop laughing at it as well, Simon. It was funny. Right, now to a serious one because this one boiled my piss. Right.
Oh.
Yeah. So I did a little video on poor journalism. I got sent this after I'd done the video gutting because I would put it straight in there. But apparently, this Man United prick of a journalist couldn't enjoy Isak's run against Everton after doing 4 players 3 times, sending them to Mars and back because they were wearing a green and white shirt. Nick?
Are you surprised?
Keep your comments to yourself.
Shut up, you. Caitlin's just come in and said, keep me comments to myself. Are you surprised? Just some journalist being a bloody tosser.
Well, I don't know which paper it was, but it was Oliver Holt, the Man United fan. Exactly. I mean, Simon, it's just...
There's a different one every week.
Exactly, but it's poor journalism again, though, isn't it?
It's lazy. That's what it is. It's lazy journalism, and this agenda's never ever going to go away while we're doing what we're doing. If we were still down there, like say where Leeds are now, on the cusp of going down, there wouldn't be any inches about us, about Saudi Arabia or anything like that. And that's all it is because we're breaking up the Big Six.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to kick 2 of them out of Champions League this year, Liverpool and Spurs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man U and Spurs.
Yeah, Man U and Spurs. Blair, what's your thoughts on it?
Oliver Holt and knobhead. That's my thoughts on it.
That's all we needed, wasn't it? Right. Ian Wright, Howe is doing an unbelievable things. We've got to go to St James's Park this weekend, and you saw what they did to Tottenham last week. Teams are going to Newcastle and they're afraid. Eddie has got this guy next door face and altar boy face, but underneath he's Clint Eastwood. He's so perfect for them.
Good.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's where do you start with that? It's nice to hear Ian Wright, someone who's on the BBC.
I got a lot of time for Wrighty. I met him once. I got a lot of time for him. Met him over in the Lowry Centre when they were doing the Football Hall of Fame, and he was being inducted. And when he was doing his induction speech, he was talking about he nearly didn't become a footballer. He was going to go be a brickie, but his missus talked him into going for his trial because she was pregnant at the time, and that's why he wasn't going to go. He needed a steady income. And so I got a lot of time for him and that, and he talks a lot of sense. And the banter him and Big Al have is fantastic. But call him Clint Eastwood. I don't care. Because it's Mad Dog that you got to watch out for.
Yeah. Clint Eastwood's a bit of a beast as well, to be fair. Nick, what's your thoughts on what Ian Wright said?
It's just glad. It's good to see that teams are scared to come to St James's Park now.
Hell yeah.
Even teams like Arsenal are worried coming to St James's Park. Do you know what I mean? A couple of years ago, no one was worried about coming to St James's Park. Exactly.
Well, yeah. I mean, we were terrible. Blade, Chuck Norris would be in a better comparison.
Yeah, wouldn't be far off. Although maybe Chuck Norris is Tyndall. But yeah, I recently rewatched that High Performance pod that Eddie did shortly after joining one. And you can see his determination, his will to win all the way through that.
He's a Man United fan as well, David, trust me. Yeah, it was really good. That was with Jake Humphries, wasn't it?
Aye.
Yeah, I heard bits of that.
It's just great to listen to Eddie talk.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly.
First Newcastle manager in years, I've actually wanted to listen to all these press conferences and everything he has to say. And
I mean, he's like going back to the Bobby Robson era when everyone was in the pub, literally, you could hear a pin drop and then listening to the manager speak. Eddie Howe seems to have got that kind of respect, which is just huge for him. I love it. This is great news, by the way. 9-figure sum to be banged, leverage for sponsorship deals. Go on, Blade.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I always wanted to listen to Steve Bruce press conferences, but only because I like bacon.
How was the bacon?
I should have known that was coming. Right, so 9-figure sum to be banked, leverage for sponsorship deals. Eddie Howe, we're a team in demand to watch. Historic average of 534,000 viewers per game over in the USA, and increased exposure will continue. This is fantastic news for us, Simon. Breaking America, it brings in a lot of money through shirt sales and sponsorship and everything.
Well,
really.
I was reading something on Twitter. Out of our 34 games so far this season, 26 have been shown live on NBC this season in America.
Yeah.
You know, that's ridiculous. And it's a big market over there. And obviously we've got the pre-season tour out there that's near enough already sold out, apparently. So, you know, everyone thought that we were going to be going off to Saudi Arabia and, you know, Abu Dhabi and wherever else. But that's the market that we've chosen to break. Maybe because we got I forget his name now, the bloke from Atlanta.
Eels.
That's it, Eels. So, you know, I think that's the way that we're going. We're not going where everyone thinks that we're going to go. We're going to go that way.
A completely different market.
Yeah,
they're already there in Saudi. They already love work
that's what I mean.
over there.
That's done. That's boxed.
America this season. China next. We'll just get fans around the world. Actually, no, not China. I'll get going.
Bit controversial, but I'll let you have that one. Alexander Isak has the best shot to goal conversion rate out of the top 20 Premier League goal scorers this season, scoring 10 league goals from just 25 shots. I think he only had 2 shots against Spurs and scored 2, didn't he? He was that prolific. What a signing he's been, Simon.
I'm going to be honest here. I knew of him, but I hadn't watched a lot of him before he came. But every time I see him, there's just something else and something else and something else. And I think we spoke before I came on that I'm normally watching another podcast, and they were saying on there that everyone comparing him with Thierry Henry and stuff like that. No. He's his own man. This is Isak. You know, that run against Everton, I was lucky enough to witness that live.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
He's just class. He's world class, and that's what we've got under the radar, like we did with Bruno. Just a world class player for not this, you know, Mickey Mouse money that Chelsea are playing with. You know, a decent amount of money, and we've got a world class superstar. And is he 20, 22, 23?
23, I think.
23.
23 now.
Yeah.
He was 22 when we signed him, though, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Sure he was.
63 million. In this market, that's a bargain.
Yeah. The £60 million flop, as I like to call him, because that's all I ever got told when we signed him. He was going to be a flop. Don't be stupid.
No. But one of the stats that no one's bringing out is that he's in. You know, I'm going to bore you all here. He's in the 99th percentile. He's in the 99th percentile for tackles in the attacking third.
Right. So the high press
across the 5 top European leagues.
Wow.
That's not just the Premiership. That's Spain, Italy. Yeah.
That's a quality
That's
stat.
immense.
I love stats like that. Just shows you that he's taken on board everything Eddie Howe wants him to do. The high press works, and the press is a team, and he's leading it from the front, and I love that. I still can't believe Isak's ours, to be honest with you. I mean, we were all, you know, humming and ahhing between Isak and Ekiteke. Ekiteke's stats look better than Isak's if you look at the one season before his bad season. But if you looked at his good season, then Isak was blowing him out with the water. City have scored. Nathan Aki header from a free kick. It's a good ball in and a good header.
I'm just glad that Ekiteke's agent is a complete tosser. I'm just glad that he's a complete tosser, because we'd have ended up with that lad and his attitude. Wow. Compared to Isak.
He must be sick of his life right now, that Ekiteke. Looking at us and what he could have been compared to where he is now.
And we're bathing in it. It's nice. I like it.
I love it. I'd still probably take him. I didn't say that. Nick, how much are you loving Isak and that run against Everton? Like I said, I mean,
Oh,
I've
it
watched it God knows how many
phenomenal.
times.
Straight along the bloody byline. What can you do? The way he controls the ball, he's top notch.
Yeah.
What more can you say about him? If he keeps getting better than as he has from the first time he signed to now, if he keeps going like that, he'll break Shearer's record. Now, mine Kane.
Yeah. And I love
Hopefully.
this as
20,
well.
30 goal a season striker, easily worth full season under his belt.
Oh,
man,
without much
yeah.
of a
I
doubt.
love that when I saw that.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, Willock's. I mean, this is all in April. Remember when we absolutely whopped Tottenham? Willock's pass is probably one of the best defence splitting passes I've ever seen live at St James's Park. And then, literally a few games later, Isak just goes, "Nah, I'm going to go one better, and I'm going to do the whole team and lay one on a plate for Murphy." To be fair, at the back post, 2 yards out.
The worst part is that Isaac doesn't even get the assist.
I know, I hate that. I'm
It's
still
just
giving him it.
criminal.
I know.
It's criminal, that.
I'm talking about it like it is, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
But name your
Doesn't
best
help me on
moment.
my fantasy football, though.
No, it doesn't. Simon, name your best moment this month. Obviously, we've gone for the best game. What was your best moment? Was it Isak's run? Was it Willock's?
It's got to be Isak. It's got to be Isak's run. It was ridiculous. It was picked up on the halfway line. It was Thierry Henry, Hatem Ben Arthur, Maradona all in one. Remember that Maradona run from the halfway line when he goes through about 5 players as well. It was that esque.
Yeah. And he nearly did it again. This is the scary thing about it. He actually nearly did it in the last game against Southampton when he took it from the halfway line almost.
Yeah, when
started
he
doing that run
Prowse.
again. Yeah, and I was literally nearly out my seat doing a watch along, going, "Do it, Messi! Do it, Messi! He's going to do it again!" And then he passed it. I was like, "No!" But then the 1-2 pass was brilliant, and if Bruno put that in, that could have been one of the moves of the season as well. To be fair, it was superb. Nick, what was your standout moment? Is it Isak's run? Is it Murphy's goal?
Willock's assist.
Willock's
against
assist.
Tottenham.
Yeah, it was superb. To be fair,
Top quality man.
yeah. There's not many players in the Premier League can do that with the outside of the right foot. Kevin De Bruyne would be one of them.
Yeah, but if it was him, everyone would be raving about it more than what they are about Willock.
Yeah, Modric could do it, yeah, but he's not in the Premier League.
I mean, like, if it was Modric,
oh, right, yeah.
everyone would be gone crazy about it.
Yeah. Isak's goal at West Ham just for the celebration or lack of it. Yes, the celebration. Love that. It was absolutely brilliant. Chesney
can I change mine? Murphy's celebration.
Oh, against Spurs.
Aye. The shot on his face was just, I
love it. Blade, what's yours? Standout moment.
Well, a quick one before the standout moment, going back to what Simon said about NBC. Do you know one of the main commentators is for NBC? It's Shaka Hislop.
Is it?
Who said we should sell Bruno in the summer?
Oh, God, yeah. Allan's in. No, he's not. I mean, Warren Barton's out in America as well, so he's obviously raving about us. We've been lucky enough to have him on the channel 3 times and spoke to him, and he loves talking about Newcastle, so there's always that side of it as well. So your standout moment, Blade?
Standout moment, Nick pinched it. It's the look on Murphy's face.
Oh, sorry.
That was
I absolutely loved it, to be fair. I didn't know what was going on. I mean, I was at the game and I was quite high up, and I just saw him standing there. I was just like, is he being really cheeky and like just, standing like how he's acted, looking at his goal flying in and his head again. But yeah, it was just a superb game, that all around. I said we're going to talk about Wilson. We have to. I mean, 2 goals, 16 touches, 4 duels won, 3 dribbles, shots on target 3. He hit the crossbar twice with 1 shot. Not many players can do that, to be fair. This month, 7 appearances, only 2 starts, but he's got 8 goals and 1 assist. Name a better super sub, and I know he's going to hate that, and he's not watching anyway, so he can get lost. But Simon, what a super sub!
Yeah, I think the major contributing factor is that he's playing pissed off. he's pissed off. He's not starting, and that's what it is. And he's playing so as he wants to be part of this next season.
Yeah.
That's what he's wanted. He's not playing now so as he can start every week. He's playing so he can be here for the next couple of years to come, because that's what he wants. Because he probably thought before the World Cup was going to be his pinnacle. But then as this season's gone on, he's gone, actually, I could play in the Champions League next season if I pull my socks up here. Because when he came back after the World Cup, it was a different player. It was like, I'm done now. I played in the World Cup. But now, he's got that Champions League dream to keep alive. And if he wants to be part of it, he's going to have to. And if he wants to get those 20 goals a season, what's he got? 4 games left? 5 games left? Well, he set a target. He set a target at 20, didn't he? So he needs 5 more goals.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't put it past him getting it, to be fair.
I wouldn't, especially while he's pissed off.
Yeah. But there's another thing about Wilson. Go on, Nick.
As he's up in his game, Isaac, they're both up in the game together, so it's working great for him.
It is.
It's another masterclass by Eddie.
Yeah.
That's why Dubravka should have stayed at the beginning of the season, because him and Pope would have been doing that to each other, do you know what I mean? But he decided to pay off the bloody Man U.
I think he's gone into summer like him.
I think he will be as well.
A video from the day saying he was getting abused online. Like, that's not right, but giving him a bit of stick for leaving is one thing. I'm not saying he should be abused on out, do you know what I mean? But
I mean, he deserves stick.
The way he left, saying he was leaving for a bigger club and all this, that pissed me off. That
the whole
especially
him watching Man United on the couch. Him watching Man United on the couch, putting on Instagram. That's when it riled me.
I think that rattled a lot of people, to be fair. Rattled me as well. But the other thing about Wilson is, I mean, we all said after the World Cup is formed, we all said, and everyone said it, Wilson looks like he's finished, because there was something missing in his game, whether it was the off-field stuff with his wife and whatever was happening there, we don't know. Whether it was long COVID, but something wasn't right, and we all thought
it was something to chase.
So well. Yeah,
it was something to chase. That he's one of those players that needs something to chase, and now he's got that Champions League and Alexander Isak. He's got to chase both of them.
Yeah,
and because
this job chasing Isak.
But this is the best Callum Wilson since he's been at Newcastle that we've got at the moment.
Yeah,
he weren't playing like this last season.
No.
You know,
we did say when in the little break that we had before we started this run of form, he says, "I'm back, and I'm going to prove it," and he literally has. Blade has proved me wrong. I mean, we were all sort of sitting there thinking, "Is he going to go?"
But I don't think he's proved we're wrong. I think on the show we said that there's just something's not right with him, and he needs to figure out what it is. We all know Wilson's a goal scorer when he's fit. I think the main thing with Eddie rotating the two of them and the competition between the two of them is it's allowing Wilson to stay fit. He's not now the guy that if he didn't score, Newcastle were in danger of relegation. He doesn't have that worry on his shoulders anymore. Now he can kind of take his time a little bit, come on, be impactful. And even when we need to change the game up, Eddie's showing faith by going, right, you, Isak, and Wilson can play together.
Yeah.
And he's not moving. He's not asking Wilson to play slightly out of position. He's asking Isak to do it and feed Wilson. And the friendship between those two and understanding looks like it's grown for every minute they spend on the pitch together.
Yeah, completely agree. Especially that assist against Southampton, it was brilliant. And you have to understand where a striker's going to be to pull the ball back where he did. Here's a question for you. I'll start with Nick first. Which finish was better, Isak's at Brentford or Wilson's at Everton?
Oh, probably Wilson's at Everton.
Aye.
Yeah, because it was sort of a standing finish, wasn't it?
Aye.
Where Isak was running onto it like Willock did against Chelsea. Yeah, I think
Wilson's
I agree with
was
that.
just hell of a strike. Just outside the box, wasn't it?
Both of them were. They were both very similar. It's just the way that Wilson had to take it was different to how Isaac
Wilson's
used the
not known for
power on the
doing that.
pass, didn't he? And Wilson had to put the power in the ball himself, so it makes it a bit more difficult. And yeah, Wilson's not known for it at all.
Wilson's a fox in the box kind of striker. He's not that, top bins from 20 yards out.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, Michael. Even though you're late, you can go back and watch it as well. Don't forget, it's free to watch whenever you want. A lot of players have taken a lot more stick when they've had a drop in form than Wilson. I think the majority was simply trying to understand why his form did. We were all thinking, was it the off-field stuff? Was it COVID? Was it what the hell was it? We'll probably never know. But what a month. He's got player of the month from the club. He deserves it. Can't really complain. We have touched on this man, Joe Willock. He's becoming one of my favourite players now. He really is. He's now made 30 successful take-ons and 30 chances creations, as in 33 for Newcastle United in the Premier League this season. That is incredible from a player where a lot of people were saying he doesn't really do a lot. But Joe Willock is now at the top of his game for me. And he's still got probably maybe another half a gear to go, and that is scary. What have you made of him, Simon, since he signed? Obviously went through the troubles, and now this season he's just shone.
I think, obviously, when he was on loan, he had the mindset that he was in the shop window, and that's what that blistering run of goals came from. Yeah. But then when he came on a permanent, he was settling in, and then it's a big thing. I mean, I'm from London originally, and then so I know it's like when you move up north, because I live in Preston now, and it's an adjustment. It's a different way of life, different pace of life, and everything like that. And I think it took him some time to adjust.
He had a bad breakup as well. That's what I heard as well. He had a bad breakup, and everyone's human. They're not robots at the end of the day.
No, they're not robots, but when you're earning 80 bags a week,
money's not everything, though, is it? Money can't buy love. Money can't buy love.
But the chances that he creates, and he carries into the box as well. I mean, it's like I said with the stat with Isaac. It's like, well, look again, he's in the 99th percentile for carries into the penalty box for a midfielder. That's a ridiculous stat. And I think he's 23 as well. So it's like you've got Isaac, Botman,
Gordon,
Willock, and Gordon. Not any of them are 24 yet, are they?
No.
Bruno's 23, isn't he? Or is he younger?
As well, yeah. Bruno's 24, actually, I think.
But 24, they've all got their primes to come.
Yeah,
they've all got their primes to come.
I mean, I just love Willock just because he just looks so cool and calm. Collective blade. He looks like he's so smooth, and he makes the game look easy when he wants to.
Yeah, the thing with Willock is he's now had coaching, real coaching from Eddie, and he's another one that's bought into it. He's sorted off the pitch. He's sorted on the pitch. How Southgate hasn't picked him for an England squad yet is beyond me.
Yeah.
Scandalous.
I agree with that. Nick, what are your thoughts on Willock?
I love his link up with Joe Linton.
Oh, yeah. They've got a massive love in them too.
Well, Joe Linton just seems to love everyone. Bruno, Miggy, and Joe Linton's just got a love in with everyone, but his link up play with Willock down that side is just how they just interchange with each other. They always know where each other's going to be. Nowadays, you could say it about everyone on the football team.
You can, yeah. Everyone seems to be quite telepathic about it, but that's just well-drilled training, to be fair.
Aye. And no bacon sarnies after training, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And no ice baths and wheelie bins and paddling pools.
I watched that video before.
I've just watched it again today. It was what someone put it on Twitter saying they looked back at how bad Sissoko was there and all that sort of stuff. It just looked horrible.
It's just like Leeds. Their players are going to be bloody stuffed eating gravy all the time. Steak pies and gravy.
I love it. And I'll tell you what, though, I bet Paqueta feels out of place now that Joe Linton's going to be Bruno's best man.
Love it.
Is he?
It's just, yeah. He's literally his best man at his wedding. I reckon Willock's thinking, well, Joe Linton, when you get married, I'm your best man, because look at how well we play on the pitch.
When Sean Longstaff gets married, it's definitely Nick Pope who's best man, like.
Yes, probably. And if Dan Byrne ever gets married, if he's not married, it's got to be Ryan Fraser, hasn't it? Or he'd be the altar boy.
If he's at the club.
He's at the club, yeah, of course. Hope Willock as well up for Sunday. How Arsenal, show Arsenal what they're missing. Hell yeah. Reason why I skipped over you. Yeah. I mean, Arsenal must be devastated looking at him. But again, he wouldn't be the player he is now if he stayed at Arsenal. And this is the sort of conversations I have with a lot of people that saying we should never have sold Ivan Toney. But Ivan Toney wouldn't be the player he is today had he not gone through the adversity that he had to go through the leagues he went through and the goals that he scored and the experiences he picked up. You know, it's easy to say that now he's in the Premier League and banging in goals, but he wouldn't have been the player he was because he wouldn't have got those chances. So Willock would be a completely different player for Arsenal to what he is now today. Longstaff's cap would be the ring bearer. Who wouldn't have Jacob Murphy as best man? Seriously. Oh, yeah, I reckon his speech would be outstanding, to be fair. And the facial expressions that would go with it. I think it would be amazing. Right, last topic. May fixtures. Run up to the end of the season. We have 3 home games, 2 away games. Massive game on Sunday against Arsenal. Then Leeds away, who I think we batter. Massive game on a Thursday night against Brighton. I think we get a point. I think they're in good form. Then we batter Leicester at home, like we've done all season. And then we batter Chelsea away from home and do the double over them for the first time in... I'll have to get the record books out to try and find out the last time we did the double over Chelsea. Simon, how many points are we getting from the remainder 5 games?
Draw with Brighton, win the rest.
Ooh, confidence. I like it. Blade?
15.
And let me guess, we're going to beat Arsenal 6-0. We're going to beat Leeds 8-0. We're going to beat Brighton 5-1. We're going to beat Leicester 7-1. And we're going to beat Chelsea 4-0.
No, I'm only going 3-1 v Arsenal.
Oh,
the rest you're not far.
The rest I'm not far off. I like it. Nick, what about you?
We're going to get 15 points, keep at least 3 clean sheets, so Nick Pope's going to get the Golden Glove.
I love it. I would love
Callum Wilson's going to bang in 5. Isak will probably bang in about 6. Joe Linton will bang in a few. We'll win the league, obviously, as I was saying before.
You're not going to win the league, City, you're still winning.
The bottom for the rest of them, then.
Double figures. We could have 4 players in double figures by the end of the season. That's incredible. I don't think we've ever done that before. Not going to lie, something about Peterborough makes breeds quality strikers. Yeah, they do. Peterborough are a free scoring team, though, to be fair. Odds are 1 to 100 that you will get a ban. They made Tony and Watkins. That's true. 16 points out of 50. Murphy is just pure exuberance and banter. He is. I'm with Blade all day long. 11 points for me. I mean, we only need 4, remember, then we're top 4, but we want to get second. We want to rub it in Arsenal's faces. We cost them top 4. Let's cost them second place as well. Willock will hit 30. Win 3, draw 1, lose 1. I'd take that all day long, to be fair. I don't want to lose, though. 3 wins and 2 draws would sound better, Paul. But that's the end of the show. Thank you so much, Simon, for coming on for your first time. I hope you've enjoyed yourself and you'll be a fan of the shows and come on again on this. I think we're going to try and do this once every 2 weeks or once every month, depending on my shift patterns and stuff like that and availability. Nick, thanks for coming on as always. And Caitlin hasn't had a chance to hammer you tonight, to be fair.
I know. I'm going to ask her what she's been doing like when I get in the room. I was expecting some very hard stick after what I do to her every week.
Oh, it's turning blue. Blade, as always, my co-host, thank you so much for joining. I'm trying to think when I'm back next.
She just shouted something, but I didn't hear what it was.
Has he gone back in the basement?
Simon and Caitlin's know me on the shows, and Caitlin and Nick are a bit of a double duo. It's quite funny, to be fair. I think I've got a video coming out on Friday for the look ahead because I'm going on to night shifts. I should have a little inside scoopy little video to do as well. But next live show will be Monday night for the review of the game on Sunday. Let's hope we've got a win. But thanks everyone for coming on. Thanks everyone in the chat as always. No, Simon, it's your pleasure. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all again very soon. Take care.
See you later. Cheers, having it on.